Hey, Joe Zarzaur here with another segment of Zarzaur Law TV. Today I'm going to talk to you about independent medical exams or compulsory medical exams. The technical name for the procedure is independent. And what happens is this. If you're one of the cases that doesn't settle and we have to go to court, then you become part of the 10% that are in litigation or they go to court. Part of the court process is that you are basically fighting with the other side about the extent of your injury or whether the injury is connected to the wreck and what the law allows once you're involved in a lawsuit, which is really, again, only a minority of the cases we handle, 10%. The other side has the ability to order you, the court can order you to attend an independent medical exam. And here's what that means. We call it compulsory because we don't think the person's independent. But we call it compulsory because you have to go, okay? And we think the word independent is misused, or not a good title for it, because the insurance company pays the doctor that is doing your exam. And they pay them over and over and over again to do other exams, just like it. So they have an incentive built into the process, unfortunately, to find a diagnosis that is helpful to the insurance company. And I'm not suggesting they all do that, okay? But what I am suggesting is there is certainly a financial incentive for them to do so. And here's how this works. So as you know, if you're injured in a wreck or a fall or a maritime accident or any kind of event, medical malpractice, and you have to get treatment, you will be treated by a doctor. That's called your treating doctor or treating doctors if you have more than one. Those treating doctors just treat you in the normal course of your situation before a law firm is even involved, most of the time. And the treating doctor does their medical records, watches your situation, gives you recommendations, gives you a diagnosis and a prognosis, and really has no interest in anything other than making sure you're well. Those are treating doctors. We use them as our witnesses in your case, right? Because they're the best evidence of what's going on with you and what caused it and how much treatment you're going to need in the future. Well, the insurance company has to dispute these things a lot of times because they want to fight. And many times they want to fight every issue. And so they get the opportunity to hire a doctor to come in and examine you. And the doctor comes in, and this independent medical exam usually takes place in a court reporter's office, not a doctor's office, because a lot of these doctors travel around the state and they do these medical exams in non-medical settings. And they will meet with the patient for 30 minutes or 45 minutes and ask them a bunch of questions, and they review the medical records, the treating doctor records, and I'd say majority of the time for sure, they come up with some conclusion that says the insurance company is not responsible. Okay? Well, obviously the jury is the last body that determines who's right and who's wrong. The jury is presented with the independent medical examiner's report or testimony, and then the jury is also presented by us with the treating doctor's testimony. And then, of course, we make the argument, that's the logical argument, that the treating doctors don't have an interest with the insurance company or the client necessarily. They are just doing their jobs, right? And they say this person has this injury, and they say it's related to the wreck, and they say she's going to need this or that and the other in the future. And they really don't have a horse in the race, so to speak. So that's the argument we make on your behalf, and then the insurance company says, well, they went through an independent medical exam by this doctor, and then we have to point out how the doctor's got all these other ties to the insurance company, right? And they make so much money from the insurance company, and then the jury gets to decide who they're going to believe. Okay? So that, in a nutshell, is an independent medical exam or a compulsory medical exam. When you're our client, we prep you for these exams to make sure they don't take advantage of you at the exam. Some of the doctors are not so legitimate, and they do more like under the table kind of, questioning, like, so you were looking at your phone when the wreck happened. And they get you to say these things in the medical exam, potentially to hurt your case. I'm not saying all doctors do that, but some of them do. But here, we prep you before. Many times a lawyer will attend the session with you Most of the time we videotape those sessions, so we make sure there's no funny business going on. But it's part of the litigation process. The rules permit it, and we here at Zarzaur Law prepare you for those exams well in advance. So if you have questions about compulsory medical exams, independent medical exams, how they apply to cases, when they apply to cases, you can find us on the web at zarzaurlaw.com, or you can call us the old-fashioned way at 855-HIRE-JOE. Thank you.